Hi, good afternoon, and welcome everyone to the IELLIOS Innovation Unveil Video Creator webinar. Thank you for your presence. I'm Emily. I'm from Non-Invasive International, and here with me today is my colleague Eric, who will be doing the moderating on the question at the later part of this session. For those who may not be familiar, I would like to provide a brief sharings on our company. At Enlivens, our mission is to promote beauty through health, and we addressing root causes to achieve long-lasting results. We firmly believe in the power of healing and rejuvenating the body in alignment with its original design. We have a strong and close relationship with the creator and the founder of these groundbreaking science solutions. Together, we are partnered to bring this new breakthrough in the medical aesthetic to this region. Our commitment to high-level research has given a rise to a proprietary science-based technology which stands at the forefront of innovation. Our technology platform goes beyond aesthetic. There are far more wider applications in restoring various systems in the human body to health. We will share more detail with you at a later time. Moving forward, Eric will lead in the next segment. Hi, Eric. The virtual floor is yours now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So glad that you can make it on this Monday afternoon. We just want to address a little bit of where we come from and why IELLIOS. It is founded by Alice Teo, who is also the founder of Enliven. And this is not a marketing session. Actually, IELLIOS needs no promotion. They are veterans in what they do, have been around for more than 3 decades. But why do I want to spend a couple of minutes is for you to know that they have been very successful at what they do. Alice, from the very beginning, believes that beauty starts with health. And when you address root causes, the beauty comes naturally. So instead of trying to individually address symptoms, she has believed in a very holistic approach. And that is the power of this technology platform. We don't look at this as one single machine. Alice has been using at IELLIOS Salon since the mid-90s, the predecessors of this technology. So Dr. Xanya has been doing this for a long time. Some may not be aware of it, or it may be new to some people, but indeed there is a long list of satisfied customers, and the customers really love it. They find that the therapy sessions are so relaxing, there is no pain, there's no discomfort, and the results they get last long, They last long, they keep getting better as they come back for additional sessions. And it results in customers who have been bringing their family, their friends. IELLIOS has the privilege of serving some multi-generational customers that from the mother to the daughter, that they find it is so good, they want the rest of the family members, their close friends. So there has been a lot of word-of-mouth marketing to the extent that there is no need to actually pay for advertising. There has been very high demand for the therapy. The scheduling is often difficult. For those of you who, my colleague Emily has been trying to show you the machine. Many times she can't even get availability of the machine to show some of you. And also we just want to highlight, it does not need very complicated skills. The therapists, as long as we have a very service-oriented, great attitude therapist, the machine and the platform does the work. So you do not have the problems of trying to have extremely high levels of skill in equipping the therapists to do this. So, and this has been a question that was asked to us actually, why doesn't IELLIOS just open more branches? Well, the reason is actually simple. Alice has been doing this for over 30 years. Her passion is really now to share her knowledge, what she has gained over this time, to make this available to many more people. For those of you who don't know, she has also established the Alice Teo Beauty Academy, where she spends a lot of time raising up the standards and the level of the treatments available in the beauty industry. So that's really what I want to share. And in looking at this, we also have heard quite a common question or a common thought that was put forward to us, which is, how about just combining this platform with everything that is existing? And as I looked at the way that this functions, which Dr. Xanya is about to share a whole lot more with us, it reminds me of an article I saw in LinkedIn recently talking about how commercial kitchens, some commercial kitchens have increased their bottom line by making a switch from gas cooking to induction cooking. And it's actually a poor example because it doesn't show how different and how great this technology platform is. But I just want to take 2 more minutes to share this with you. So in commercial kitchen operations, a lot of restaurant owners came to realize that the gas stove had so many downsides. You know, gas stoves are a product of combustion. It is burning a gas, so it releases toxins to the air. They have to manage that. Otherwise, their kitchen crew can get poisoned. If you're not careful, there can be carbon monoxide. And then there's a lot of stray heat. You know, they have to deal with ventilation issues. And then, of course, danger. You're dealing with flammable gases and open flame. You can accidentally start fires. So they did a lot of studies and they found that, hey, a commercial grade induction stove, induction cooktop, it has so many benefits to the operations. We will have higher efficiency. Our cooks can cook faster. The food can be more well preserved in flavor, but they have to take a difficult decision to replace. They can't say that, oh, I love the benefits of induction, but I'm going to take an induction stove and put it on top of my gas stove. They had to take the hard decision. They're going to say, I'm going to remove the old system. I'm going to put in what works, what's going to make my business better. So part of what we are sharing with you today is that this is a completely different paradigm. This is from the ground up, getting our body systems to go back in alignment with how we were all created. It is going to improve things from the inside out, but we have to look at it that it doesn't go with other paradigms. We will show this to you. And once you can see that, in fact, you will find that the ROIs on this, the returns on investment for this are not difficult at all. IELLIOS has been using the predecessors of this as its singular technology platform. IELLIOS doesn't do any other thing. They have not had any difficulty in getting returns on the investment. And as I shared, there's a high demand. So let me just introduce our creator of this technology platform, Dr. Xanya. She has 2 PhDs and also has been involved in a lot of research. In fact, if you look at Google Scholar, you will see her name on many publications. But the most important thing, whether it is about the titles, the most important thing is that she is the creator of a technology that works, and it works beautifully. So without taking any further time, let's welcome Dr. Xanya. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Xanya.
Well, thank you for this wonderful introduction. And I'd like to say that there's 2 points that you made that I'm going to stress as well. I think when you're talking about the kitchens switching from the gas that is damaging to it's because the entire anti-aging system, the entire anti-aging ecosystem, it's now moving towards health. And the people who will move there first are going to be the people that are going to make the most money. Because when we started with the technology in the United States, the people that got our machines first were the people that were booked 3 months ahead and they were making the most money, to the point that they were hiding the machine so nobody else can take it next to them. So, and that's how we started blooming in the United States. And then we came into Asia, but we came into Asia at the time of a pandemic and difficult times kind of thing. However, the pandemic has changed everything. Everybody at the back of their minds now are thinking health. And they don't quite express it because they don't know what's there yet, but it's coming. And what you're going to see, all of these technologies that are trauma related are going to subside. And they have already subsided in the United States. They're still strong in Asia, but it's coming. Health, it's going to prevail. And what's going to prevail is that when you really launch this technology properly, from my experience, your ROI should be done within 2-3 weeks, but you have to launch it properly, not just stick it in and nobody knows about it, and do it with other technologies and promote other technologies as well as that. If you focus on that, you're going to be 3 months ahead booked, like everybody else was in the United States. People don't understand that, but I'm glad you said it, and thank you. All right, so now I'm going to move on and try to share my PowerPoint. And I'm going to start from the beginning. And tell me if everybody can see everything and if the slides are, everybody can see it? Yes? Tell me if you cannot. Okay, so this is the amazing technology of IELLIOS Max. And let me go back. And it's basically the one thing that it does is you glow from the inside, and you really, truly, it's the health. It repairs the health of your skin. It's about health, skin health. It's not just beauty. It's beauty coming out from the inside. And let me see here. Let me move it this way. Okay, so it's a you don't have to spend very long on this. This is the wonderful news. 20 minutes facelift, under 50, basically over 50, they might need a little bit more because of the aging process has taken over. 10 weeks, if they do it once a week, you can actually sell them in increments of 5. So it's going to be 5 weeks once a week, or 2.5 weeks if it's twice a week. Even in the first treatment, they will see immediate instant results. And the freshness is the important thing. Look at all the faces with Botox and lasers and even stem cells, or even, of course, radio frequency. What you see, what's missing, okay? Maybe they don't have the wrinkles, maybe they don't have the laugh lines. What's missing is freshness. And this is the #1 thing of youth. Without freshness, you look at the face, you know the age. And it's not young. Again, it looked the youthfulness. What the IELLIOS will give you is freshness and youthfulness, and nothing else in the market can give you that. Absolutely nothing. Again, the fillers are going to fill in, and the Botox is going to take the lines off, and stem cells are going to create some kind of a rejuvenation effect, and then you're going to have the lasers and the radio frequency that they're going to create trauma and try to create from the inside the collagen increase. There's going to be no freshness and no youthfulness. You're going to look at the face and you're going to say, this person is that age. Okay, they don't have the wrinkles. They look exactly their age. Very important, skin lightening, which basically, if you look, I just attended a conference in IMCAS, and they were talking about PRP, and a very intelligent Thai doctor, who is actually the top doctor in Thailand, came and said, every time I poke the skin to put the PRP, the placenta, what happens is before they get a result, it gets worse. So she showed us the progress. And the first picture, it has some pigmentation. Then in the middle, the pigmentation was like 3 times as much. And after that, the pigmentation was slightly better than the first pictures. So it doesn't really do much. And what happens with lasers and RF? After a while, the pigmentation gets worse. Why? Because it's post-inflammation. Eventually, there will be inflammation. And what's pigmentation? It's post-inflammation. So the only thing that will work for pigmentation is the IELLIOS. And I have to tell you, my lectures, now I'm a faculty member in both IMCAS, AMWC, and other conferences, my lectures have increased 250%. Why? Because I'm talking about health. Before I would have 1 or 2 lectures, now I have 4, 5 lectures. Why? Because people understand that there is a thirst for technologies that enhance health. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. You're a pioneer in health, that's where the money is. Again, 20 minutes eye lift, you can see before and after that. Immediately you're going to see results, and you can just do it for the eyes. A brow lift, that's really fast. 5 minutes, you're going to see a brow lift. It's very easy. And the most important thing is that it stays and it lasts. It has lasting effects. Hair growth, actually with 20 minutes, is you can do it for 20 minutes. Younger people, older people, they're going to need a little bit more, again, because the aging process has progressed. And this is a before, as you can see. What you see with the hair is very interesting. The hair starts standing up immediately, so they respond. And then you see a hair growth that is substantial, even on the growth. And that's second treatment and 5th treatment, you're going to see his hairs have started growing, and they grow back black. And this is the before, and this is the after. This is some more studies that I have done with earlier versions of this technology. That's another one, 4 treatments, and after 3 months. You've seen this in the introduction as well. This is 1 treatment after 19 days. This is a very interesting one. And what you see here, you see 2017, and 5 years later, he looks younger. He has only done the iRevive, the iRepair, and now the IELLIOS. That was the predecessors of the IELLIOS, the iRevive. So here and there. He looks like his son. And there, and that's after 5 years. This is another patient. You can see the pigmentations, 2019, 4 years later, she looks much younger, and the pigmentations are not there anymore. They're gone forever. So it reduces pigmentations in very, very short time, and the results are lasting. They're not like the laser. You look, oh, great, and then a couple of months later is worse, much worse than before. Rejuvenation, even over 50, 20 minutes. Actually, this is only 1 treatment. You can see a substantial difference on her neck. You're going to have a close-up before and after on her neck. Yes, there's still some wrinkles there. It's 1 treatment. This lady has had this condition for many, many, many years, and we need more treatments to completely rejuvenate that area. But 1 treatment, you see a substantial result. You cannot see that with any other machine. I'm sorry, you cannot. And this is actually from Lavalin. This lady came, just 1 treatment before and after. Again, that's another, you can see the difference, substantial difference after 20 minutes in 1 treatment. This is again a lady from Lavalin. She wanted to go into Botox. We did her face. You can see the rejuvenation. The face is lifted. She looks younger on the after. And that's again 1 treatment. Only 1 treatment. That's also another lady that we did in Lavalin. That's just 1 treatment again. This is a doctor. Look at his neck. Immediate rejuvenation. This guy is 84 years old. So the age doesn't matter. No matter how old you are, the effect will be substantial and immediate. And these are stretch marks. Another stretch, you can see the stretch, that's 1 treatment, 20 minutes, immediate effects on stretch marks. And I don't know anything else that can do stretch marks. Vaginal rejuvenation, this is for older women that the womb has thinned and they get tears during intercourse, and the intercourse is painful. After vaginal rejuvenation with the IELLIOS, the area, the tissue thickens and the sensation increases. And this is the only technology that increases sensation. I've written an article on this, and I went through all the papers with radio frequency and lasers. What happens? Great for the man, terrible for the woman. The woman loses sensation. Why? Because there's a scar tissue that develops. They call it collagen. It's really a scar tissue. And the woman has no sensation. So what's the point? This is a keloid scar. This is from Dr. Lampe, before and after. She actually did 10 treatments on this. Obviously, that was a substantial problem. So the bigger the problem, the more the treatments it will require. This is eczema and psoriasis, a very, very complex case. We also did it in Lavalin. He could see a difference after 3 treatments. And I believe his legs now are healthy. This is from Singapore, 10 treatments. That was an earlier version of the technology, the repair. This is a treatments. This lady was going to lose her leg. It's a diabetic wound. It persisted for a long, long time. And after the treatment, it completely healed, and there was no reoccurrence. That's very, very important. Above, you see the paper that we wrote with Dr. Lampe. This is her patients. It's a wound repair. The second down is a lady with a cancer wound, and you can see substantial healing to 6 treatments. That's again the keloid scar. This lady, 86-year-old, she had herpes zoster. Only 2 treatments, and you're going to see an immediate look at the wounds of herpes zoster, and even the wrinkles are gone from her face. Her face looks rejuvenated, and the disease is healed. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about healing. We're talking about health, not just beauty. Beauty, okay, you will have the beauty, but the most important thing is that you're healing the skin. This is a burn, a substantial burn. That's an earlier version of the technology, the Revive. And neuropathic pain. We did an article with Dr. Lampe. She had 10 patients. We did it for, I believe, 6 treatments before and after. They had gone through every single other technology possible. Nothing had worked. And within 6 treatments, pain was gone, and it did not reoccur. Again, very substantial results. I'm sorry, it was 10 treatments. This is some of the books that I've written. They've been translated now in 12 different languages, and some of the articles, again, that I have written, you can find them in Google and other sites. And what I would like to talk about is that this technology is not just our invention, okay? It's based on the research in the field. So Nobel Prizes from 1998 and 1999 gave us all the information that led to the development of this technology. And this is basically what we looked at. We looked at protein molecules. We looked at, because the protein molecules, what they do, it's like they travel into the body, and it's like a FedEx. They bring information that into other cells, like they deliver it like they have zip codes. So that's a very, very interesting aspect of Nobel Prize research. And this is what we have based our technology. And what this is, what's based on, and I'm talking now about the science. And I know you might not comprehend the entire thing. It's okay. I'm here to ask any questions. This is very new. This is not lasers. It's not RF. It's not stem cells. It's not, although it stimulates stem cells, but the endogenous stem cells, your own stem cells. You don't have to do an injection from the outside. And I just did recently a lecture in IMCAS of how stem cells, especially embryonic stem cells, have so many dangers that nobody's telling you about. One is immunorejection, then the immune system rejects it. So it doesn't do anything, just sits there. And if it sits there, then you're going to have you're going to have tumorigenesis. In other words, they're going to turn into tumors. So there's problems with everything else out there except this technology. And what does it do? Resonance. You know how the soprano has, sings and breaks the glass? This is what resonance is. And this is a press release, another Nobel Prize. And basically, can you unboil an egg? What does that mean? Boiled egg, the proteins are dead. They're denatured. They're gone. They're finished. They cannot make a chicken, okay? But can you do that? Can you actually refold the proteins and basically unboil the egg? That's the idea. Basically, can you make something that is dead come back to life? And the answer is yes, and you can do that by protein refolding, and this is the Nobel Prize. And how you do it, you should know something very, very important. Radio frequency destroys proteins, and proteins are the brains of the cells. So you need to understand that, okay? If you destroy the brains of the cells, your cells are brain dead. What is a brain dead body? How can it function? Well, it cannot. So it's the same thing. So what we do with this technology, we renature proteins. So if your patients insist in doing RF, I recommend that you get this technology because RF denatures the proteins and eventually they're going to start looking older, okay? So you need to understand that. And this is basically the science facts. Collagen that has had such a huge success, okay? Because then people discovered collagen. Well, collagen is only one of 100,000 proteins in the human body. And to reinstate health, you need all these 100,000 proteins, not just collagen. Collagen is like, it creates scars. It's like cement you put to close the gap in the bridge, okay? That's where the scars come from collagen. What this technology does, and there is a book that came out 2008 by Ronston. And what he proved mathematically is that at energies below thermal noise, the ion channels of the cells open up. And that is the time that you can actually insert signals very nicely and very, very kind of efficiently. And that's what we use. This is the formula that we use. And we built the first IELLIOS in 2010. And from there, of course, it started getting different others. What we were doing that from London University invented the perfecto, okay? The perfecto was based on research, cellular regeneration research that was done in London University. And what they were trying to do is they were trying through resonance to change the shape of proteins. And you can see here how this protein becomes different as a result of the resonance. And what is resonance, hair growth and resonance? What it does, basically, it enhances the signal. If a signal is broken inside the body, it will reinstate it through enhancing it. It will enhance it through the resonance. It's come. This is what you see. This is what you see the cells. This is basically under the microscope, and it's a very, very complex and very expensive microscope that we use, that you see the energy transfer from one cell to the other. You can actually see it with your own eyes. And I'm going to actually, and this is basically what IELLIOS does. It restores signaling pathways. That's what it does. If it does that, you will turn the clock back. You will delay aging by definition, scientifically speaking. And this is the science. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see how the cells respond. Do you see how the cells respond? They respond from the distance, through a distance. And I know this is scientific information and some of you might not be interested, but this is the reality. This is the science, and you need to understand the science, and you need to understand the effect that this science you would have on your patients. You see, through the distance, they don't even need to have a connection. There's like a psychic effect. It's incredible and it's fascinating. Very important that what a lot of these disorders are, the problem for a lot of these disorders like psoriasis, psoriasis is for sure, it's a disruption of cellular rhythms at the cellular level. You know, we have finally kind of identified, there's a lot of research on this, and it's clear. So the disruption of circadian rhythms of the cell, not your own, but of the cell. The cell also wakes up and sleeps like we wake up and sleep. It has a circadian rhythm. If it's disrupted, what you get is psoriasis. And this is the Nobel Prize in 2017, that they showed that they can actually create cancer treatments by putting brakes on certain T cells. Now, the most important thing about aging and hair loss is inflammation. It's actually two. It's metabolism and inflammation. So we have another device, this guy, that enhances the metabolism. You can see it here. That device will reinstate metabolism. And then the IELLIOS and this device will reduce the inflammation in the system. This is anti-aging. If you increase inflammation, you increase aging. You don't delay aging. You are speeding it up. And that's something you need to understand, okay? And inflammation causes hair loss, and radiofrequency causes inflammation. There's a lot of articles that show that radiofrequency causes inflammation. And I know you don't want to hear that, but you should know. And that's why I'm telling you. Okay, and there are a lot of studies that have done with lasers, and what you see is they use laser and they use other kind of substances that they inject, like minoxidil and other substances. And what you see is you don't see very much difference. You might as well just inject the thing and not use the laser. I don't even know why you have to use the laser or buy a laser to use. The efficiency of lasers on keloid scars, which are problems, they're wounds on the body, and they're excessive collagen, which is what the lasers say that they cause. What you see is that you see very, very modest results. And what you see, they report results that they are 99.9%, but when you look at the results, 8 out of the 22 patients, 36%, that is, had the clear reduction. That's only 36%. 10 of these subjects had a slight reduction, that's 45%, and 4, which is 18%, showed no change. That's not 99%. So they're overstating the results. And they're doing that because all of these articles are paid articles. They're not real science articles. And what you see is you see 21 to 35% of keloid scars reoccurring. So there's no point. You need to understand the difference between marketing and science, okay? And this is the marketing, okay? The area of college, the market is on the left, the results are on the right. I'm attending so many conferences and I see before and afters from people. I don't see that much difference, to be honest with you. With the IELLIOS, we can do that in one treatment and much faster. So you need to consider those things. Again, the same thing with lipolysis, the before and then after. Yeah, you see something. We can do that in one treatment with a virtual gym, you know? So you need to start understanding the effects of what you're using right now and what you could get, what you can achieve if you actually added the IELLIOS and this technology that we have invented that we don't market because we don't care to market. We're not marketing people, we're scientists. And that's all we care about, science. And that's what I like and appreciate about Alice, because she has now understood that she has something very valuable in her hands and she wants to give it to the world. And that is what I appreciate about her. She's not marketing, she's offering. She's delivering science. And that is very important. She is a very important person. So another thing you need to remember is that with repeated treatments of lasers, what happens is the granzyme B, which is associated with cellular apoptosis and inflammation, will increase. So it will cause premature aging. So you need to understand all these things. I know you don't want to hear it, but you need to know these things. So either you're going to follow everybody else who's doing whatever they're doing, okay, like stand in line, put the blindfold and follow them, or you're going to be a pioneer. And being a pioneer is fascinating, and it's interesting, and it's wonderful. It's satisfying. And the pioneer, everything has changed from beauty. Everybody's going this way still. They're still following the crowd. But there is a detour, and the detour is into health. Like Eric said earlier with the kitchens, everything is going through health. And there is a window, and that window is now. Because when the window closes, everybody's going to be doing it, and you're going to be following again the crowd, blindfolded. Okay? The pandemic has broken the path of just beauty and has changed it into health. And you need to see that before everybody else if you want to make money. Otherwise, you're just going to be following. And everybody else who's a pioneer is going to make the money. There is a detour. There's a detour, the force, that we say in French, you're forced. It's a forced detour. You cannot avoid it. That's what it's going. And with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you for listening. So let me try to stop the sharing.
Thank you, Dr. Xanya. That was truly enlightening, a very fascinating discussion. We would like to open this time for questions. Today, we would like to just mention that we have participants from a few different areas that are interested in different types of treatment and also different perspectives to treatment. So the questions may not be entirely relevant to anyone, but we will take them anyway as for the building up of our collective knowledge. But if I could, I would just really like to recap some of the key points that Dr. Xanya has shared with us, that the shift to health, actually we see it everywhere. It's not just with beauty. Coming out of the pandemic, indeed, in all the different conversations I have, I find that people are now so much more interested in long-term and in their true well-being. They are not interested in the short-term, the stopgap measures. People are really looking into how to be healthier. So that is really important. And if we are able to provide solutions, even solutions that our customers may not yet be aware, that's where the true value lies, right? That we are offering to them something that hasn't existed before. My colleague Emily just now mentioned this point. I was not sure if Dr. Xanya was going to bring it up, but she has, which is that the platform, the technology platform, has gone on so much more than this IELLIOS, that wonderful machine which you can see in the background of Dr. Xanya, is something that is just so much more advanced. We over here, we haven't started sharing it to any of you yet, because let's begin with the IELLIOS, understand its true power, understand its true potential. We will be sharing about the more fascinating machine behind in the near future. It does truly amazing things. Almost what many medical people believe was impossible is being regularly achieved with that machine.
We
So
think fatty liver, diabetes. It's
yes, the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, something that many doctors say is not treatable, but amazing results with that. So if there's any questions, yes, please feel free to come in. Otherwise, I will start with a question of my own. Anyone? Okay, Dr. Xanya, maybe let me ask you this, because you were addressing the diabetic wound, that it healed and it healed permanently. And a couple of patients later, you were talking about neuropathic pain. I wonder if there's any relationship there, because from my understanding, I'm not a medical doctor, but diabetic wounds and neuropathic pain, a lot to do with circulation. So, I mean, because you talk about regenerating the skin, but is there, for example, actually an increase in the circulation? Is there revascularization, damage from diabetes? Could you share a bit? Because some of our participants here today are medical doctors. Could you address a little bit about that, please?
Yes, actually, we have about 1,210 samples of blood samples that we were pricking the finger, put the blood under the microscope, and we were looking at the blood before and after this technology, both of these technologies, the IELLIOS and this one. And what we discovered, we don't know why it happens, but it does happen. The blood, when the blood of a person that dies at 50, okay, because of strokes or whatever, or heart attack or whatever, is one cell is on top of the other. We'll call it aggregation. Okay, and it has a lot of poikilocytosis. That means a lot of toxicity inside. And also you see a lot of cholesterol there. When you do this technology, even from the first treatment, the blood is immediately improved. And with more treatments, with like 6 treatments, what you see is complete separation. The cholesterol is gone. There is no poikilocytosis or minimal poikilocytosis, depending, different people have different levels, of course, and we just include in the sample many, many different people. But the results are consistent, like for everybody. This is like an 100%, not 99%. It was 100%. Everybody got the results, and we had 1,200 samples. We were doing this for a long, long time, and this was previous formats of this technology, much earlier versions of this technology. So the genius of this technology, and started with Jerry Pollock, is being there all along. I was just in England. I have to tell you that, engineering now, okay? So this is engineering. And what you see in the oscilloscope, you see a waveform and then another waveform, and you see like okay, that's fine because I created that, with Jerry. But then you see something else on top of this that we didn't know. And I said, what is that? That's not mine. I have never seen this before. What is that? So what this was, we started disconnecting all of the components to see where it's coming from. And what none of these components was creating. But when all of these components were working together, along with all of other things, all the waveforms that we have installed, you had something that was more than the sum of the parts. It's like a gestalt. A gestalt is more than the sum of the parts, like a personality. Like you cannot find personality anywhere in the brain. You cannot find love in your heart. Okay, love is a gestalt. It's something that it's more than the sum of the parts. So it's ingenious engineering. I mean, it does. And Jerry kept saying they cannot copy this machine. They cannot copy this. Like always, they cannot copy this machine now because the formula is in my head. But and you need that formula to have that thing. But it creates something that it just doesn't exist anywhere else. So when people compare it to I'm talking about this one, they compare it like to muscle stimulators, I get very angry. The blood goes to my head because the muscle stimulator is such a simple thing. It just goes to the muscle and triggers the muscle. It's such a simple technology. It was invented in the 40s and it's still the same, hasn't improved. This is a genius technology. So this is not, and this is science. This science started, Jerry was inventing the pacemaker, and then he was commissioned to do this technology and what we call today the IELLIOS. All that was created together. It took him 17 years to even kind of present the technology. And since then, we have added. Now, this technology has 49 years now, actually, of research, almost a lifetime of research between Jerry and Donald Gilbert and all of these other scientists from Cambridge University that have been involved, and myself. And so it's not just me, it's a group work. It's a lot of scientists from London University, Cambridge University that have been involved and to offer you what there is today. So and it's unique. It's a unique technology. Whether you like it or not, and whether you want to hear it or not, it's the truth.
Oh, thank you for that answer. Yes, truly amazing. So you're talking about like those pictures. I have seen some that they talk about the people who suffer from premature death. Unfortunately, that it's almost like the blood cells are stacked, right? It becomes like a stack. And what you're saying, yeah. And so what you're saying is that even from the very first treatment, that will begin to release again and be free floating.
Absolutely. Rouleau is the worst stage is aggregation. It's one that like this, okay? What you see is from aggregation, they go to rouleau. That is like coins that stack together.
Yes, like stacks of coins in a row, yes.
That's rouleau. And from rouleau, it goes to complete separation. It's incredible. Somebody found that and they told me, and I was like, seriously, really? Why? Why does it do that? I have no clue why it does that. And you can understand with a virtual gym because obviously it's going to increase the circulation. But the IELLIOS, with such energies below thermal noise, it's like subelectrics. Energies below thermal noise is when you unplug something, okay? When you plug something and there is no electricity flowing in it, and the electrons still have a certain agitation after it's unplugged, and that is thermal noise. It has to be below that. In other words, if I go like this, it's more than what the energy the IELLIOS delivers, but it's this energy that the ion channels of the cells open up. It has to be exact. It has to be mathematically exact. It cannot just be anything. So you have to get the formula right. So it's these energies that we can insert the signals because everything is open. All doors are open. All doors and windows are open. And it's fascinating that you can do that. And people say, well, I don't feel anything. Well, because they're used to being abused by today's technology. They used to be, hurt, to get inflamed, to get stuff on their faces. They don't understand how something can heal them by just touching your skin. And that's the fascinating thing because they don't understand the science. And I understand that it's new science. It's different than everything else. So it's hard to grasp. But it's the truth. So people better start grasping it if they want to get ahead in their business and make money. You have to be a pioneer. If you're not a pioneer, you're never going to make money. You're just going to keep losing money.
Yes, absolutely. And this is, in fact, a really good opportunity because it is something that genuinely promotes health, but at the same time, to take this leadership position and to then deliver this health to your customers, it in fact gives you almost like an entitlement to earn money while you're doing it. And it's going to be easy money to earn because you're not going to have to go out there and promote something that is, that people have to think whether it's morally right or, very difficult decisions. No, not at all.
Not at all. And how I know Alice is booked ahead for weeks and months sometimes, right? This has been my experience. The problem with people is that trying to do too much. They have too many machines, okay? This is their problem. And they think this is how they're going to get everybody else's clients. No, you're going to get everybody else's clients with something special that nobody else has. People don't get it. Everybody in America, everybody who had these machines and promoted them the way they should promote them, they were booked weeks and months ahead. But they did not have anything else. You have to have something that's special and then go with that. Make up your mind what you want and stick with it. Don't just go, oh, here, there, and you put everything. That's like, that's a bazaar. What classy person wants to go in a bazaar and spend money, okay? You're gonna go in Chanel, why? Because what Chanel has, it only has Chanel, that's it. You need to understand how class works. And if you wanna make money, you need to be pioneers. Otherwise, you're going to do what you're doing right now and keep losing. So, up to you.
Okay, thank you for that, Dr. Xanya. And any questions from anyone? We do have a few participants here. anything that you would like to clarify or to ask Dr. Xanya to address? Feel free to unmute yourself and share your questions if you do.
I didn't mean to offend anyone, but if anybody is offended, I know that offending you is going to get you to start thinking. So you should be thanking me for offending.
Okay, I mean, if we don't have any other question from the guests at the moment, let me ask another question. I observed.
They do have questions, but I think it's going to come later. So I think we should allow them to, to come back to you, Eric, and give you their questions at a later point.
Of course, yes. If any of you comes up with questions later, you have Emily's contact. Maybe most of you don't have my contact yet, but please feel free to share it with us. My colleague Emily will definitely will assist you with that. But let me just address one more thing that from the slides that you were sharing, Dr. Xanya, I noticed that, and I think you mentioned it too, that not just that we saw hair thickening from the older gentleman, but it looks like the hair was blackening too, because in the picture, it looked like the tips of the hair were whiter and the part nearer the root were actually coming out dark. I mean, did that? I'm not sure, but it looked that way to me. Would you like to address a little bit about that?
Yeah, because it's healthy. It's revived as a healthy hair. You understand? And white hair is an unhealthy hair. What it does, when the proteins, when the signaling, the hair grows as a result of communications through these proteins that are the only alive part of the cell. So hormones are proteins, neurotransmitters are proteins, collagen is a protein, all of those things are proteins. And the proteins are the alive part of our bodies. Okay, all communications happen with proteins. The rest is sugars and and it's not alive. So when the pathways are repaired, then there is a sort of a time reversal, and you do have time reversal at the cellular level. Actually, you have it routinely, like a free radical is missing an electron. It has an odd number of electrons. With the appropriate amount of electrons, the free radical can go back and turn into a stable molecule. That doesn't know if you lose an arm, we lost an arm. But at the cellular level in quantum physics, everything we can have time reversal. That's why we have to focus at the cellular level. I did another lecture in it because while all Nobel Prizes are talking about cellular level recently. Why? Because that's where the time reversal is. That's where you can find the cures for cancer and the treatments for cancer at the cellular level, because you can reverse that. You cannot reverse anything else once it's become a gestalt. So once this has been reversed, the body acts as if it's a younger body. That's why your hair grows black.
So this is a normal result that you actually see, not just the thickening, but the blackening or darkening of the hair.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah, and it depends. I mean, people have their own ailments, right? So we're not going to be able to repair everything in a few treatments. Obviously, they're going to need more treatments, and the older they are, sometimes the more damaged they are. So they're going to need more treatments. But and we're still doing research to make this technology even more effective. This is what we're doing. That's why we don't care about advertising and marketing, because we're very busy doing research. We're interested in giving something good to people. We're not interested in we're making money anyway. I mean, we don't need that much money. We just need enough money to finance the research. We're research oriented.
Yes, thank you. Yes, again, any of our participants, if you have any questions, we are happy to hear them.
You need to give them some time. Let them chew on it.
Sure.
It's a lot of information.
So some of the other things that we observed, you were talking about an 84-year-old gentleman in the, some of the testimonials that you were sharing. And it looked very obvious that the skin at his neck area had actually thickened significantly. I know that some people may be wondering, because it is quite common that people will use either something that will quickly absorb into the skin or something that was even injected. Would you like to address a little bit that, because I think you mentioned that this result was observed in just, was it a 40-minute session with the IELLIOS? Okay, a 20-minute session. So this thickening for IELLIOS is absolutely not a temporary occurrence, but it is a true regeneration or rejuvenation of that skin. So maybe you could touch a little bit more about that.
I have never used injections and don't endorse them. Okay. We don't use injections. We don't use creams. We don't use anything. We use the IELLIOS. It's far more powerful than any of those things. So I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Thank you, Dr. Xanya. We have a question from Ben, who is asking whether this technology, your IELLIOS technology, has any contraindications.
Yes, actually pacemaker, because the pacemaker is also a signal. The IELLIOS probably does not, because the IELLIOS signal is much lower than the pacemaker signal, so it will not interfere with the pacemaker, but probably the pacemaker is going to get the IELLIOS to stop. So you're not going to be able to use the IELLIOS because the IELLIOS is just going to stop. It's just the signal is going to be canceled. And if you cancel the signal, the machine will stop. This guy, because the signal is more powerful than the pacemaker, it will get the pacemaker to stop. So this would be a contraindication to the pacemaker, and the pacemaker would be a contraindication to the IELLIOS. So you don't want to use it. Well, they cannot use it together, period. Pregnancy, we don't use it for pregnant women, although you can. But with pregnant women, because something can happen that has nothing to do with this technology, and it's very important to the mother, we leave them out. We use nothing. And that's it.
In pregnancy, we are always more cautious than anything else. I mean, never take the risk. It's only 9 months of the mother's life. We can wait till after the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Xanya, because now we also have a question about the Bell's palsy treatment. I mean, we have seen it, we know the results, but since the question is there, yes, please address the results from IELLIOS on the Bell's palsy.
Actually, I have a movie of Bell's palsy that I can send you, so you can see it. You don't see it as well in the pictures that you had. There is a movie that shows the before, and you can see how, the way she talks, you can really see it. And within 3 treatments, she just talks about her house or whatever. She doesn't say anything. It's in Spanish. That was done by Dr. Annie Rodriguez in New York. So you're welcome to speak to her. It was only 3 treatments. That's it. And, it went away. The Bell's palsy was one of the things that the perfector was used for as well, very, very efficiently. So Bell's palsy has, for the longest time, since the technology came out in 1994 with the first perfector, the perfector changed over the years. The first perfector, I'm sure Alice knows it. Treating Bell's palsy, most hospitals were worried to treat Bell's palsy. So it was very, very effective.
Yes, the short answer to the question, because Dr. Xanya gave a very detailed answer. Indeed, the Bell's palsy was pre-existing to any of this treatment, and it is very much improved by, as Dr. Xanya said, not just the IELLIOS, but even predecessor technologies had already shown great improvement. So not only is it allowable or compatible, it actually addresses the Bell's palsy, shows tremendous improvement, and has happened time and time again. It is not a coincidence. It is not a one-off. So I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry, I don't know who asked the question. I just see a letter C in the chat.
Well, I just want to give you like something that could be a marketing tip. What you're hearing here is that you can call other doctors if you have the technology, say, hey, you have patients with Bell's palsy, you have patients with fatty liver, send them to me because I can help them and I can treat them. And then, I can have some kind of agreement with different doctors, like this machine after pregnancy, in 4 or 5 sessions, you get flat. So you get gynecologists to send you their patients. This is something that, networking is very important, and we do it a lot in conferences. That's something that you should engage. And you can get this technology, the things that it can do, like herpes zoster, that in 2 treatments gone. Keloids, obviously that needs far more treatments. You cannot just do it in 1 treatment. It's going to need more treatments. And some of them are very stubborn scars. So, you can get other people to send you, like stretch marks, to send you their patients because you can help them. And nobody else can really help them. They say they can, but look at the results. And look the results after 10 years.
Yes, absolutely true. So some very good questions, and we look forward to any more. Please feel free to come in with your questions, or as Dr. Xanya said, if the questions come to you later, please do get in touch with us. Let Emily know your questions. We will gather them again. Certainly, we will get the answers to you. Otherwise, if there are no more questions, I think we will wrap up in the next few minutes. I just want to really emphasize that we are very appreciative for those of you who took the time to join us. Truly, this is not about trying to market something for the sake of trying to, make money out of it. Of course, this is a business. We are not doing this as a charity, and neither are any of you. But it is something we really believe in. We see the benefits. We see that people are really helped by it. And that is what drives us, like Dr. Xanya says, right here in Malaysia, for Emma Liz, for Enliven, and our founder, Alice. It is really about helping people. And we look forward to partnering with those of you who are here with us, that we can bring this technology, that it is something you can offer to your customers, and it is something that they will thank you for. There's nothing more satisfying than having customers who pay you money and then tell you, I'm so appreciative of what you have done for me. And that is what we are seeing with this technology platform. So that's how I would like to leave this for you to think about. And please come back to us if you have any thoughts about the technology platform or the business. Emily is always available. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Dr. Xanya. If you have any closing remarks, Dr. Xanya.
And thank you for offering the training platform that is necessary for this technology for people to understand it and know how to use it, because we did not have that platform. You're offering a training platform. That's very important.
Yes, thank you. All right, so thank you, everyone. Really appreciate you being here. Look forward to communicating more with you. And as we said, please feel free to get in touch with Emily for any follow-up.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.